Right. Can everybody hear me okay from like right up here? All right, cool. Um, it was a little bit right, the chat GPT thing. That was actually like 20s, Stephen. I did go through a phase where I only used open source software. It was really painful because I was trying to do graphic design work on open source. And so, yeah, that was early 20s, Stephen. It did hallucinate the part about the pizza, though, as people who know me well know me. So I'm here to talk about ATL BitLab. This is a Freedom Tech hackerspace located in Atlanta, Georgia. So quick introductions first. Let's see if I can make slides progress. Oh, I think what happened is the first frame of the slide is actually like my desktop, and so like I thought that was yeah, cool. Now we're on slides. So some quick introductions before we get into like our announcement today. I'm Stephen Delorme. My day job, I'm a product designer at Voltage. I love improving the UX of Bitcoin. But I co-founded ATL BitLab. And then my buddy Jesse here, my co-owner, is there. You can speak to him if you want to also learn more about ATL BitLab. He's really critical for maintaining the operations around the lab. So we're really proud of the community that we have at ATL BitLab. I've gotten a lot of, over the years, comments from people say like, wow, I like, coming to this Bitcoin meetup because I feel like it's supportive and people want to ask my question, answer my questions, and I feel like I learned. So I get a lot of comments of that. We're very proud of the community that we have. There's 2 tech meetups per week. Wednesday night is always Bitcoin night, and then Mondays are for the AI and the Doster and cybersecurity and all that good stuff. We actually recycle a lot of these also in the podcast episodes, so you can find our podcast on YouTube and on our website and all that. Out of all the topics people are interested in, it just varies between the person, right? Everyone loves Bitcoin at the lab. Some people are really into Lightning. Some people are really into Nostr. We, of course, have the people who are, super into privacy tech and self-hosting, sovereign computing. We got the people who are addicted to AI these days. So different people show up for different things depending on what they're interested in. But there's just this one topic that I realize just really captivates people's interest just all across the board. That if I put a meetup about this topic, it'll double or triple the attendance. And that topic is mining. For some reason, even in the year 2025, mining just really occupies huge amount of mind share for people, who are, been in Bitcoin for a while, and also those who are just getting in. So this is our crew here, actually at a mining facility tour. Our friends at CleanSpark, been, really nice to us and given us actually 2 different facility tours in the state of Georgia. So these were huge hits. I think people like the idea of mining because it kind of is mysterious. It's like, I noticed when people first get into Bitcoin, they confuse the, supply cap with the proof of work algorithm. They think they're intertwined somehow. And then as they start learning more and more, they realize that they're actually separate concepts. But then they're like, well, how does the math work? How does it readjust itself every 10 minutes? All this kind of stuff. They're also into it because it's profitable, question mark? I don't know. But it's they're into it because it's profitable. Like, oh wow, I can plug in a computer and make money. That sounds awesome. I want to do that. And then they realize it's not so easy. But then they're like, well, wait. What parameters do I need to optimize for? That guy over there is making money. How do I do it? And the gears start turning, and they can't stop thinking about it. It's also just like high energy. Like you're in a mining facility, you're just like somebody turns on one miner next to you, and it starts like whirring. It's like, holy shit, that's cool. It's but then it's like literally high energy, and it requires a lot of energy, and you have to get into like, well, where's the fuel cheap, and can we find like alternative fuel sources and ways to make this work. So the energy aspect just attracts like a kind of person that might not ordinarily be interested in high performance computing. So that's all good. I think though that mining also has some less than positive aspects to it that I think everybody would agree on, whether you're just a pleb or whether you're running a large mining pool. And that is centralization. I think we have a problem right now with centralization in mining. This has to do with hash rate in the form of large pools. And when you have a large pool, the large pool can control the block template. That could lead to things like double spend attacks, 51% attacks. It could lead to, censoring transactions from blocks. We also, and the hardware that is being run comes from, just a couple of manufacturers. We don't have decentralization of the chip production. This is the reality of it. I'm not going to lecture you on this. You can kind of do your own research, listen to some podcasts, read some of the reports that are out there, but I believe it's an issue. So we have this problem of miner centralization, but on the other hand, we also have a community in Atlanta that's like really excited about mining all the time. I want to see if I can take, some of that excitement and enthusiasm about mining and redirect that towards solving real problems. So we are launching our very first hackathon out of ATL BitLab. It's called Battle of the Mine Hackers. This is going to be running starting in early July and wrapping up, starting in early June. That's going to be wrapping up in early July. So it's going to be a long hackathon. We're going to have a couple different tracks to this one. There's going to be a software track. On this track right here, we're encouraging you to work on software that helps with decentralizing mining. This could be protocols like Stratum v2, Datum, Raidpool. There's people doing eCash stuff with miner shares. Maybe you want to help with the BitAxe operating system, stuff like that. You just pick your poison here, but focus on the software that makes mining possible and makes it more decentralized. Also, on the hardware side of this, again, this could be stuff with like BitAxe and all these open source mining initiatives that you see online. This could be working with something like Mining DevKit, whatever it may be. Try and do something related to hardware in this track. We're also going to have an energy track. Maybe you want to build your own home water heater. Maybe you want to recycle, the heat for miners or some other interesting purpose. Maybe you have a fuel source you think that that no one else has thought of before. So this is the kind of stuff for the energy track. So this is different than your usual hackathon where it's people just kind of, schlepping together Next.js websites very quickly. So, why hackathon from ATL BitLab after all this time? We've actually been around for 3 years, formally as the ATL BitLab hackerspace, but the people in the Atlanta community have been attending hackathons for longer than that. And we're very grateful for all the other hackathons we've attended, right? Like we're lucky because PlebLab has thrown so many amazing hackathons over the years, and Bitcoin Plus Plus and MIT Bitcoin Expo, and then the Bolt.fun hackathons that were running for many years there. Like we've all benefited tremendously from the hackathons that other people in the Bitcoin industry have put on. We've seen people level up their skills, get good jobs working at Bitcoin companies. We've seen people, start their own startups, launch open source initiatives, all of that, all because of the skills they learn coming and joining hackathons. So this is us also giving back to the kind of hackathon scene here. It's now time for us to host you. So this is global participation. You do not need to be in the city of Atlanta. You can participate from anywhere in the globe. However, if you do want to visit us at any point during that month, there will be many in-person events at the lab. We'll have jam sessions and all of that. We're going to be live streaming builder workshops, and we'll have weekly Q&A sessions that you can join either remotely or in person at the lab. This will all be kicking off during Atlanta Tech Week. Which is, basically it's, a little bit like South by Southwest, not nearly as big, but it's similar vibe in that there's just, tech events going on all over the city of Atlanta. And we'll also be partnering up with Bitcoin Park to help make this a success. So yeah, that's about it. I just, invite all of you to join the battle, kind of fight to keep Bitcoin decentralized. Like I said, it doesn't matter whether you're just some pleb who's just, stacking in, for the first time and learning and figuring things out, or if you're ETF investor, or if you're someone, running a large mining pool. It's in everyone's interest. However you interact with Bitcoin, it's in everyone's interest to keep Bitcoin decentralized from a mining perspective, and keep it as the best money. So yeah, if you want to join, you can scan this link right here. And we'll also be posting this to Twitter and Nostr. You can find it later, but that's just a sign up form. We'll send out the dev post and all the details to you later. But yeah, join us. We hope to see you at Hackathon in June. That's all I got.
There we go.